solutions.
Yeah. I was excited about 6 months ago that I heard of this service called Backupify, and it's backup and then IFY, Backupify, and that is a really great service. And I got in early on a beta, and they had a free, and as a matter of fact, it's free again, I noticed. So they're trying to get a lot of folks signing up. But you go on and create your account, and then you tell it'll back up Facebook, Twitter, Flickr. It has a list of sites that you can choose which ones do you want it to back up. So it's keeping a copy of anything that you're loading on there. And I thought that was a lot of now on Twitter, we either use, the frog, what is it, YFrog, or my brain is can't pull that name. There's a frog one somewhere, or Pick Please. I mean, so we're using so many different sites to load pictures and content. So Backupify is really great. You choose what you want it to back up, and it does. They do have some paid services if you go over a certain size in your storage. So that's a great one. And then Bulker is the one that I learned of, and that is Bulker is really an add-on to Flickr. So if you are a big Flickr user and you're loading all your pictures there, go to Bulker, and it's Bulkr.
I thought that's what we were feeding our dog, but anyway, that's a different issue.
I think that's what I've been eating lately. It's called Girl Scout cookies, also called Bulker.
Those are good.
Yeah, and Bulker will back up. It's just for Flickr, so that's great.
So if you have a lot of stuff on Flickr, that's what you really need, the Bulker.
And you really have to look at, like you said, Rick, we can't rely on those services only.
No.
We have to look at and say, if these are really important pictures to us, we really should be backing them up in multiple places. So,
and if you read the word, or if you ever hear the word free has a price.
yeah, that's a good point.
You get what you pay for more often than not. And if you have the premium accounts,
Right.
usually, if you notice in some of the fine print, they say, we will back up for you.
That's true.
If you have a free account, you may be on your own. Don't count on that, on those pictures that you've spent time and money on being there. They may not be.
Right. And it's interesting, Dawn's saying, these cloud services are great because we don't use up our hard drive. And
Right.
We've talked about Dropbox, one of our favorite tools. I store certain pictures in Dropbox that our whole office can access at any time. But I started even putting pictures in there that I want to kind of keep as another safe place, because it's cloud-based, to back up important photos. But we have to look at, should we be backing them up? I have an Apple Time Machine, so it backs up everything off of my computers every day on an ongoing basis. But if there's a fire in my house, we can't rely on a backup drive in our home, because we'd lose
Right.
everything as well.
Right. And many of us know all about backups, and then we don't do them.
We don't until after something happens, and then we swear,
Yep.
I am going to back up my stuff from now on.
And for about a couple of weeks, we do. And,
Yeah.
and then the old habits take over, and boom, we're
That's
done
right.
again.
Well, you're a big Carbonite fan.
Actually, I've never used Carbonite.
Oh, I thought you had everything on Carbonite.
No, I've never used
you
it.
just-
We have a lot of. Oh, we're getting echo. We have a lot of. I think that's your Skype right now.
Is that Skype?
It's Skype. It'll go back to normal in a moment. Carbonite is actually a very good tool, especially if you've got a modicum amount of data. If you've got a lot of data, then Carbonite's probably not the best choice, because it's going to take a long time to upload some of the data. However, it works well. I'd say it's good for smaller businesses or individuals, and it does a great job of doing that. No, we have our $10,000 backup unit, and backup goes off-site as well, so we're protected that way. But I would not put our business data on something like Carbonite and assume it's going to be there.
Okay.
I mean,
Right,
it
if
probably
you're
would be.
average- But just because you have a lot of big, like we're
They're
talking about.
huge. They're huge, especially the video files and everything else. It takes, especially raw video. We've
Right.
got terabytes of just raw video out there. It's hard to try sending out a terabyte even on Fios. It's going to take a long time, and we've got
Yeah.
T1s at the office, so it's even slower. So yeah, it's
But
not.
if you're the average user, small
Yep.
business, you probably want something like Carbonite, because it's a great service, backs it up. When you think about our movies, all the video files, podcast video casts that we have, YouTube is another. We're putting it in the cloud. We're storing it there. We embed it everywhere else. So, really look at your data. If you lost everything, how devastated would you be, and where are you putting stuff so that you have an alternative? So Backupify, I would definitely check it out. I wouldn't rely on just that.
No, I agree.
Yeah.
But you know what's a little bit more comfort when you go to bed at night, knowing that it's on another server, and maybe, just maybe, they'll keep it for you.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about Facebook now, especially if we have a business page on Facebook. We're posting a lot of information,
Yep.
great content that could be used in a book later. If that were gone, it would be pretty devastating. So you really, and Facebook does have a feature now. You can download everything that you've posted on Facebook. You go into Facebook, into their settings for account settings, and it's toward the very bottom of your account settings, and you can actually download. It'll take a while if you've posted a lot of pictures, videos, and information, but you can pull off of their server everything that you have posted on Facebook. So just keep in mind, that's one reason I tell people you still need a blog, because your website or blog should be where your content lives,
Right.
and then Facebook is where it spreads.
Yep.
And so, looking at strategically, where is all my data and great content, the best nuggets. Some people are putting on Facebook fan pages, which is great. But if something were to happen, if all your posts, from January 2011 and earlier were deleted or gone, think about that. So Backupify will back up all of that information as well.
Yeah, that's really good to know.
Yeah.
And with that, we're going to move on to...
Let's do social right. Let's talk about social media. I'm always looking at which companies, which organizations do social right. How are they reaching out to consumers? And in the past week, I've been paying attention to which businesses really have created a personality for their organization in a way that you don't see them as a logo and I think this is a tough dilemma for a lot of companies. They have their logo and they don't have a person's name attached per se. So one that comes to mind, actually two that I've been focusing on this week, looking at FreshBooks, which is an accounting service, again, cloud-based, has some really cool features that allow your customers to access invoices that they've been sent without you having to send them. About $20 a month for a low-end thing, so it's kind of pricey, I think. But FreshBooks does a really great job of engaging with their community on Twitter. And what I think is cool about that is they're not just posting, they're also listening for when people need help, but they're not just posting content about their services. They actually reply and engage in conversation with those in their community. And so does Mercedes-Benz of Greenwich. I have to give a shout out to them because they are always very fun and engaging with their customers or their community members on Twitter, and they will maybe you post something about just got engaged or just got some new shoes or something, and they will actually reply saying, wow, send a picture, or congratulations. So just the little conversations. And I think it's a really good lesson for any of us in business when we're on social media. It's so easy for us just to post content.
And it's not personalized.
It's not personalized. And even if you are replying to people that talk to you or that mention your name, are you occasionally looking through the stream on Facebook and Twitter and jumping in and replying to their conversation? So that's kind of I think the lesson, the takeaway from what I've observed on these two accounts is we need to do that more often. Not just listen when they're talking about us, but listen in the everyday conversations and just, tell people congratulations or, hey, I'd love to see a photo of that. Kind of full disclosure, we manage social media for companies, and Hyatt is one of them. And the Hyatt Denver Tech Center we've been having so much fun because Mindy on our team, who manages their account, she will anytime somebody says something about, just had some artwork put in a gallery or just got this wedding dress, she immediately asks, I'd love to see a picture. And it's fun to see how many people will take a picture and they'll send it through TwitPic or something. So, engage with your community.
Yeah, in fact, I think there's nothing that's a bigger turnoff on Twitter or any of the social media where you have a company that is trying to market themselves, and that's all they do. There's no collaboration or communication with anyone other than and that turns a lot of people off. And if you notice, they don't have a lot of followers and they don't have a lot of people interested in what they're doing more often than not. And they're not personalized. You don't know who they are.
That is another thing, is should you disclose your name? And, I think putting your initial at the end of the tweet and then in the bio, putting who's tweeting on behalf of that organization. But, for a small business, it's usually your personality. And I think we have to look at, does our company have a personality? If it's not my name, if it's not my headshot and my name, then it's a company brand. Right. Does your company have a personality that people can engage with?
Right.
Otherwise, it's flat.
That's true.
That's our tip on doing social right.
That is good. That's a very good tip.
Yeah. My favorite time.
What kind of... By the way, you are costing me a lot of money. Every show, I'm going out and buying all your shiny objects.
Yeah, that's right.
I now have a Logitech controller.
Oh, do you? Well, okay, should I start showing you diamonds and things?
Oh, no.
Shiny object time. I actually have two shiny objects. One not so shiny because it's not high tech at all, but I carry this three outlet. What is this? Not an adapter. I don't know. It's a pluggy thing.
It's a plug. It looks like an adapter.
Yeah. Okay. I carry this in my briefcase, and here's what happens every time. You make really good friends in airports. It has 3 outlets on it, but it only takes up one. You know how you go to the airport and you're looking for a place to plug in and get some work done while you're waiting? I rip this out. People always think I'm such a genius because I'll pull it out and I'll say, do you mind if I share? And then all of a sudden another person can plug in. So I say if you travel, put one of these in your bag. Really, really helpful, and you'll make friends. So that's my not so shiny object. But I used it last week and made friends. So, you're kind of the airport hero.
Now Gina, be careful. Don't talk to strangers, especially with power outlets.
My daughter always tells me that. Mom, do you have to have a conversation with every stranger? Only
the ones you don't know, right?
Exactly. Not all of them. Okay, but this shiny object is called, and Rick, you may want to plug your ears because you'll want to go out and buy one of these. It's an HP Dream Screen. And what's really cool about it is it kind of looks like an iPad that's, I have it hanging on our kitchen wall in the kitchen, just right near the counter where we're doing work and stuff in the kitchen. But it's really cool because you can see right now it's on Pandora. You can go to Snapfish and you can load a bunch of photos on Snapfish and then it'll just run like a digital photo album. You can log into Facebook. I'm not really sure why you'd want to sit with the remote and try to type, but I have at times created a photo album in Facebook, and then I will show the photos from here. But I can also log in and show the Twitter stream. I can play music that I have on a disc, and I can load that right in here. I like the fact that I can put photos also. Videos, I can see the weather, so it'll show weather. But the one that I really like is radio stations. So when I come in the house, I don't have a radio which is really odd, but we don't have a radio in our house. Anywhere in our house. So sometimes I'll be in the car, I'll be listening to a show, I really want to finish listening, I can come in here and log into a specific radio station, which is great. But the thing that we use most often is Pandora. And so, for example, last night we set up in a little Italian cafe for dinner. Schrecklet and I always have to go theme nights. So we made Italian dinner, and then we, on Pandora, searched for Italian cafe radio and pulled up Italian. If you're not listening to Pandora, this is like the best app ever. But Dream Screen, very cool.
How much is that?
This was $99.
That's not bad.
No, not at all. And I've had it almost a year.
That's pretty good, and it's one of those things a lot of people don't know about. I
Right.
didn't know about the Dream Screen.
So it takes a digital photo album and adds more features
we're-
to it. So